When it comes to exercise, most people are overcomplicating it. That results in two things happening. Either they go way overboard and do too much of it, or they don't do any. Talking about exercise today. Stick around. You're going to like this one. Welcome back to the Begin Within Health Show. Like I said in that little intro, most people are either doing no exercise because they've overcomplicated it, overhyped it in their head. And as a result, they're feeling guilty about doing none, or they think they have to do a lot more than they actually do. And they go way overboard. And then they wonder why they feel like garbage all the time. There is a sweet spot. And honestly, I don't think most people are anywhere near the sweet spot. It's something that I'm trying to find myself. But today, what I'm doing is pulling together insights from some of the most popular episodes from the past year where we talked about exercise. I'm going to pull together those insights for you and make sure that we capitalize on those lessons, the lessons learned from those discussions. And more than anything, I want to help you to be active, to move without having to spend hours at the gym, perhaps like me, without even having a gym membership. You're able to stay in good shape and take good care of yourself. And stick with me until the very end because I'm going to share with you the one mindset piece, the one game changing hack that will transform how you approach exercise. Stupidly simple, backed by research, and something that most people completely miss. I'm going to share that with you at the end as a summary, a big takeaway from these lessons. But I know each and every one of these lessons is going to benefit you. This is the exercise episode for people who are tired of workout plans that require you to restructure your entire life and start living at the gym and realizing that's either impossible or they just get hurt trying to measure up to it. So let's dive in. 3 takeaways from 3 different episodes from 2025 where we talked about exercise and trying to find that sweet spot, that healthy spot in life for exercise. First, I want to start with one of the most important distinctions that people miss. And it came, I think, from that old phrase, no pain, no gain. I hate that phrase. We've talked about it before. If you want to hear me rant on it, go back to episode 259, where I pull that one apart. But here's what I believe when it comes to exercise, lifting weights, fitness. No pain, no pain. Okay. That's my philosophy. This should not be painful. But of course, we need to understand the distinction between pain and healthy levels of discomfort. Those are definitely not the same thing. And confusing them, and I have done it myself in the past, but confusing those can get you stuck or get you injured. Listen to this clip from episode 259 where I talked more about this. Let's clear something up here. Let's talk about the difference between pain and discomfort, right? I said earlier, I understand we have to be discomfortable. How about uncomfortable? There has to be some discomfort as we're exercising, as we're training, in order to get the results that we want, in order to get the change that we want. In fact, just to feel good, right? We need to get our heart rate up. We need to push a little bit beyond what's just the status quo in order for us to experience the benefits and to feel the benefits. But there's a difference between pain and that discomfort that I just described. They're not the same thing. Discomfort it's part of growth. I think about it as the burning feeling in your muscles when you get into the end of a set, right? Rep 10, 11, 12, and you do what you can at the end of the set. And maybe you do. You think to yourself, no pain, no gain. But what you're really talking about is discomfort. No discomfort, no gain. The heavy breathing at the end of the workout that I'll often do. I love to do a finisher at the end of my workouts. Lots of my clients do that as well. After the workout, we do a little somewhere between 2 and 5 minutes of more of a metabolic challenge, right? Get the heart rate up. We're moving weight, but we're not lifting super, super heavy. We're just high reps and going for it. I love that feeling. The heavy breathing, the heart rate's up at the end of the workout. Discomfort. That's discomfort. That's not pain. Soreness the next day after a workout, a little soreness, unless you're starting a brand new program, right? For those of you who have started, working out with a trainer before, or you start a new program, you know what I'm talking about. If you haven't been doing anything and then you do a full body lift, even one that's not super crazy, you're still going to have a good bit of soreness, right? The next day or two. We're going to do what we can to not have that and for you still to be able to obviously get through your day and everything. But that soreness after a good workout that many of us come to love, we enjoy that. That's just discomfort, right? I don't want that to be painful, miserable. That's your body adapting, rebuilding, getting stronger. That's good. And it's important to remember that, right? When you start a new program, it's going to be there. There might be some extra discomfort, but that's part of the process, right? Your muscles are adjusting to new demands. Delayed onset muscle soreness is part of the adaptation process. It's how we get stronger, and it usually eases up after a few days. And as you get more consistent with your workouts, you're not going to feel that same soreness. I promise. Consistency is what it's all about there. But pain, and I'm talking about sharp, stabbing, lingering pain that will makes you want to stop immediately. I got to stop this. I got to stop. I got to get out of here. I got to quit doing what I'm doing. That's a message, right? That's your body saying, this isn't right. This has got to stop. I'm not happy with this. And that pain is a warning sign. It is not a requirement for results. So keep that in mind, right? The difference between pain and discomfort. All right. This is huge. Discomfort means you're challenging yourself appropriately in a healthy way. Pain means you're damaging your body. Discomfort is that burning sensation at the end of a hard set. It's heavy breathing during a sprint. It's mild soreness the next day that reminds you that you worked out yesterday. And we come to appreciate that. We come to enjoy that. But pain is your body just frantically waving the red flags, saying stop. It feels sharp. It feels stabbing. It's the kind of some sensation that makes you want to stop. And that is exactly what you should do when you feel that feeling. And of course, I had to learn this the hard way over years of training. Man, I limped out of the gym more than once with serious injuries, things that I had to go see a doctor about. And I used to think that, those warning signs initially that preceded those injuries, that pushing through those was what you had to do in order to get good results and in order to be tough. That's what made me dedicated. It proved that I wanted good results badly enough. But what it did was it proved that I was pretty ignorant, that I didn't understand how the body worked. Real results, the kind that last for decades, come from being smart about how you're training. It comes from listening to the warning signals, from understanding that your body is not trying to fool you with pain signals to try to trick you into stopping before you actually should. It's trying to protect you with those signals. You don't need pain to get results. You just need a challenge. And there's a big difference there. So hang on to that one. No pain, no pain. All right. You with me? All right. Now let's talk about a mentality that I think it destroys more fitness journeys than almost anything else. And it's the belief that if something's good, then more is better. And with exercise in particular, the thinking is more is always better. More workouts, more intensity, more hours in the gym. And really, it's the fast track to burnout, injury, and quitting. And really not being sure what went wrong or not being sure what to do next time. This mentality of more is better. And that's why I broke down that approach a little bit. Episode 272. Give it a listen. More isn't always better. We can't just say it in general that when it comes to health and fitness, that if some is good, then even more is better. And if even more is good, then even more than that is better. Sometimes more is just more. And sometimes it's even worse. Sometimes it can backfire. And I want to just bring this to your attention and give you an action step to think about moving forward. We're going to talk about the mentality behind this and why it can be such a slippery slope for us. It's very easy in the fitness realm, health and fitness, to start believing that our results are always tied to doing more. They're always tied to more effort, more sweat. The more you can throw at the problem, the better. And admittedly, sometimes with health and fitness, we get to the point where we feel like I have a really big problem. I want a big solution. And so I need to just keep more and more energy going towards solving this problem. And the truth is, yes, at the very beginning, if we're just starting out, we often do need to do more than we were doing before. That just makes sense, right? That's logical. If I haven't been doing any exercise, I haven't been paying attention to movement, I haven't been eating any veggies, I haven't really been drinking water at all, well, then we need to do more in order to move in a healthier direction. But the problem comes when we get started and then we never shift out of that mode of doing more and more and more. We just keep piling on the intensity. We keep piling on the workouts. They're getting longer and longer and longer. Or what we're eating and kind of the restrictions on our life get more and more and more, thinking that we're going to make even more progress by doing that. And it comes from a good place: motivation, excitement, wanting to challenge yourself, wanting to push yourself. But if it's not kept in check, that mindset can run you straight into feeling burnt out. It could lead you to injury. It could lead you to an illness. It could lead to frustration. And that's where we want to talk about something that is called the law of diminishing returns. Have you heard of this? It's a real thing. The law of diminishing returns says that after a certain point, adding more of something results in smaller and smaller benefits. And eventually, if there's more and more and more of it, what ends up happening is we get even worse results. Law of diminishing returns. Just in general, you could use the example of fertilizer on crops, right? Crops just grow by themselves, but if you add some fertilizer, they're going to grow even better. So the mentality then might be, I'm going to add even more fertilizer and even more. And pretty soon you've got 3 feet of fertilizer in that field, and the sun and the rain can't even reach the crops. How well is it going to grow? Not at all. It's going to be a really big, gross mess, isn't it? Well, with health and fitness, we could do the same inadvertently, thinking that more and more and more is better and better and better. I know that's kind of a fun analogy, right? With the fertilizer, but think about it for just a minute. You wouldn't dump an entire bag of fertilizer on a plant, one plant, and expect it to thrive. you'd kill it. But that's exactly what people try to do with exercise, isn't it? They think that if 3 workouts a week is good, then 6 workouts a week must be better. If 6 workouts a week is good, then seven. Wow, that's like the ultimate. If 45 minutes is effective, then what about 90? Wow, what kind of results could I get with 90? That must be twice as effective. But that's not how the body works. That's not how adaptation works. Your body needs stress to adapt, some discomfort. It needs a challenge, but it also needs to be able to recover. And the quicker you can recover from the challenge, actually will increase the speed of the results that you get. You don't get stronger while you're working out. We got to stop thinking that. That's the old like Rocky montage belief, right? You don't get stronger while you're working out. You get stronger during the recovery from the workout. So if you're working out intensely every single day and just pushing it 45 minutes, an hour and a half, 2 hour workouts, you're not giving your body time to rebuild, and you're accumulating fatigue and stress. And eventually, something is going to break in this process. You'll have an injury. Your immune system is going to just crash finally. Your hormones get dysregulated. You burn out mentally and you quit. It's not a sustainable thing for most lifestyles. And of course, I see this and I have seen this with lots of people back, especially when I was in the gym. Man, I'm doing 2-a-days. People used to tell me, just regular guys that go in before work, they come back and lift after work. None of the people that told me that are still doing it. I guarantee that. Years later, still doing 2-a-days. No, it was too much. What ends up happening is, first of all, life happens, and that's just normal, right? It's not a sustainable schedule, but also if that didn't happen, they're not giving themselves enough time to recover. They're feeling terrible. They're wondering why they're not seeing results. And then if you suggest, hey, why not just cut back? Come in once a week, most days a week, give yourself some days to rest. People will think, what? I'm gonna get less results. You want me to get progress less quickly, more slowly? You trying to slow me down? No, because your progress happens while you're recovering. You actually make more progress when you find a good balance, when you find a spot where your body is challenged consistently, regularly, but it's also getting plenty of time to recover and to adapt. Understanding this is so important, and being strategic about it, building it into the program, respecting this principle is so important, so much more important, way more important than being intense all the time with workouts and just adding more and more and more and more, trying to get some amazing results really quick. It does not work that way. Let's do this in a sustainable way that respects the way that your body works. You get long-term results, long-term health. I think that's what we want here, isn't it? All right. Let's get practical now. Even if you understand these concepts, the pain versus discomfort, and you're not overtraining, you still need an approach that fits into your actual life. And most fitness programs are designed to be rigid. They tell you exactly what to do, exactly when, with zero flexibility. And of course, that's what we've come to expect. If I'm going to have an expert make a fitness program for me, well, then it better be impressive. It better be rigid. It better be hard for me to actually match it. That's what we've come to expect and think that that's what the process is. But life happens. Life always happens. It's going to happen. That's what it does. And the problem with those rigid plans is that you feel like you've failed and you think, all right, I got to get through this phase of my life and then I'll make room for this plan again. But history repeats itself again and again and again. Or you understand what the plan is like, and that time to get back to it just never quite happens. I talked about this in episode 275. We talked about fitness for real life and about the importance and the process of building flexibility into your approach. Give this clip a listen. Remember that being flexible is being strong. Your flexibility is a strength. Your routine should adapt to your life. With making your life try to adapt to whatever health, nutrition, workout routine that you think your life should adapt to. Forget about it. Those things should adjust to you and your life. And growth is the goal, right? Growth is the goal. Forward is forward. Steps are steps. If you're learning, you're growing. If you're growing, you're getting better. And if you are better than you used to be, then you are healthier. This one's so important. The best workout is the one you actually do. It's not the optimal one, the impressive one from some fitness influencers program. It's not from some textbook. It's the workouts and the program that actually fits into your life, your schedule, your energy levels, and shifts and adapts to them. Some days you have an hour, you feel great, and you can just crush it. Awesome. Some days you have 20 minutes and you're tired. Does a program allow that? Can you still get in a quick session on those days and call it good and feel good about following through, about executing the plan? Is that okay with the plan? Because there's going to be days like that. Some days you need to rest entirely and it wasn't scheduled. It wasn't planned. You need to be able to do that. That is all fine. All of that is sustainable and will help you to be consistent, not perfect. Perfect consistency does not exist in the real world. Sustainable, realistic, practical, real life consistency, that does exist. You can do this. And that, again, is what creates long-term results. Long-term health benefits come from that. It's not the person who crushes their workout for a few weeks and then just burns out and quits. It is the person that shows up consistently, even if imperfectly, or especially imperfectly, showing up for years. That's the one who wins in the long run. That's the one who gets the good health results. All right. So 3 episodes, 3 of the most popular episodes from 2025 that we just touched on, clips I shared with you, and takeaways. What were the big main points that we discussed? First, understand the difference between pain and discomfort. Discomfort is okay. It means growth. It means challenge. Pain means a warning. Lean into the discomfort. Listen to pain. Listen to the warning. Stop. No pain, no pain. Okay. Number 2, more is not better. Probably enough said on that one. Quit thinking more is better when it comes to exercise. And then third, flexibility beats rigidity for long-term success, long-term health, health for years. That's what we're looking for. Now, at the very beginning, I promised you I'm going to share just a simple hack that is a game changer when it comes to exercise. I'm going to share that with you in a minute. But first, if you want some support and some help in creating something like this without a gym membership, without a gym at home, with very little, if any, equipment at home, you want to work out at home and just make it fit your lifestyle, give me 7 days. Give me 7 days to work with you for free, no credit card required, just 7 days. And in the 7 days, you're going to get lots from me, but we're going to have 3 appointments during the 7 days. So don't feel like you got to set aside a whole week's vacation for this. All right. This is flexible, adaptable. It can fit into your life, but 7 days of training with me, 3 appointments. It's all yours for free. I just want a chance to help you. Give me that opportunity. Go over to beginwithin.fit/7day and get your free 7-day trial started, your coaching trial. Get it started with me over there. Beginwithin.fit/7day. Now, here's the hack I promise you. It's the one thing that's going to transform your approach to exercise. Do something. Do something active on more days than you don't. I know I told you it was stupidly simple, but just stop trying to find the perfect workout program. You know, the people out there that actually are active, intentional movement, exercise, whatever you want to call it, they're doing that on more days than they're not. They are in the very small minority. So this is it. This is all I want to encourage you to do. Do something active more days than you don't. Plain and simple. I know for me, it's a Monday through Friday thing, weekends, kind of like, hey, different schedule, different plans. But if you got the schedule, the work schedule, whatever, you got the ebb and flow, get some activity in, find a time to do that more days than you don't. And that is it. Not every workout needs to be intense. Not every single session needs to be long. You just need to move your body more days than you don't. And start small. Start with a few minutes if that's all you have. If all you can do is 5 push-ups right now, that's all the time you have. Just do that. Consistency trumps intensity. It always has, and it always will. People who move regularly, even moderately, get better results than the people who work out hardcore for weeks or maybe even months, and then they stop for the same amount of time. They're not doing anything, or even longer before they start again. So stop chasing perfect. Start chasing consistent, because that is the secret to long-term health and fitness. Hey, thanks for being someone who's here with me. Thanks for being someone who's interested in becoming a better version of themselves. It means a lot to me that you are here and that you're in that group of individuals along with me. Now, go move if you haven't moved today. Build it into your schedule. I will talk with you again soon. Keep taking good care of yourself.